Exploration America. Back with another video. So I recorded the last one about Colorado, and as I was listening, like playing it back or whatever, more memories popped into my head about the state of Colorado. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about more memories that I have from that state. Okay. Number one. Well, the first thing I wanted to talk about was one day I was going through the Raton Pass, going from Trinidad towards Raton. I don't even remember how long ago this has been, but there was a truck headed in the same direction I was, going from Trinidad towards Raton, and I guess they were going too fast or something. When they hit one of the curves, they lost control, and the truck was pulling like a boxed in, like one of those fancy boxed in trailers that everybody seems to have nowadays. And the truck jumped along with its trailer the median, and if you've been through there, you know like how it looks. But they jumped the median, or the, whatever you want to call it, in the center. It's that little part where, like, it's not that far to the other lanes or whatever, going the opposite direction. And they jumped the middle and flew completely over the lanes going the opposite direction, and the truck came to a rest on its side, and then all the traffic going my way just slid, like slammed on their brakes, and people were jumping out of their vehicles and running across the freeway to go help, and people going the other way were freaking out and slamming on their brakes. And I didn't stop, I just kept going because there was going to be another accident because of all the people slamming on their brakes and all that. So I just got the hell out of there to avoid getting caught up in whatever was coming. But that was like a freaky type of occurrence. And another memory I have, I had relatives who were at the time living in Trinidad, Colorado, and one of them got drunk one night, and I mean really drunk. Actually, I'm not sure if he was drunk or if he used drugs or what the hell was wrong with him, because he was one of those people, well, I don't know if he's still alive, so he is or was one of those people who was addicted to alcohol and drugs. So I'm not 100% sure what the hell he had been into that day, but all I know is he took his brother's car because his brother was out of town at the time, and he had his own kids in the car with him, and it was snowing and everything like it does in Colorado, and that year it was bad, like really bad. The roads were worse than they normally are in the wintertime that year, and where they were living at, it was like up on top of one of the little mountains or hills or whatever you want to call it there. And the road is really narrow going up to the house from the paved road, and the road you had to drive on to get to their house was a dirt road, and if there was snow or ice or rain or anything, that road was not drivable. But anyway, for whatever reason, I can't remember 100% if he was leaving the house or trying to get back to the house. I just remember that he went off the road down a ravine, and his kid, he was so messed up that day that his kids had to climb out of the car and go back to their grandpa's house to get their grandpa to go back and get their dad. That's how messed up he was. Trying to think what other memories that I left out of the first video. Oh. I completely left Los Animas, Colorado out of the first video. I have a few memories. Number one, like I said, I have a lot of redneck family members. So we spent a lot of time. There's a river that, well, at the time, I don't know if it still is, but at the time there was a river that ran behind the prison there in Los Animas, Colorado. And we used to go, and we had this area of the river that we would always go and fish at. And we pulled a lot of really big catfish out of that river. Surprised me how big the fish were there. Like, we pulled some huge fish out of that river. But it was kind of dangerous because we weren't that far from the prison. And we ran into some shady people. But anyway, that's one of the memories I had there. I had a really bad memory there because someone broke into my house there. That's one of the things that people in that town are thieves. My house got broken into. Actually, 2 houses that I lived in there got broken into. My relative's house got broken into. That's not a good town at all. The last time someone tried to break into my house, my dog attacked the person and nearly ripped his calf completely off Like it ripped it. My dog ripped the guy's calf muscle like almost completely off his leg. He was like crawling down the alley after my dog got done with him, with his calf muscle just like hanging there. I spent a lot of time treasure hunting in Colorado. That's not something I talk about much on this channel though, so I doubt I'll even go into detail on that, but that's really one of the only reasons I like Colorado is treasure hunting and stuff like that. Because now that state is just drug addicts. Pretty much that's all that wants to live there. That, like, the smaller towns are dying off. Like, all the towns I've mentioned, pretty much, they're all dying off. Eventually, I'll probably take a trip and document all the towns that I've ever been to in that state. Most of them, at least, the ones that I think are worth documenting. Towns that most people would never go to, stuff like that. But anyway, this video is getting long enough already, so I'm going to go ahead and end it because it's already the second video I've made just to talk about one state, so I think that's more than enough.